And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved Mega Factory. We got bugs falling everywhere. Looks like they're attacking from this direction this time. Anyway, I want to start getting the OET components built. Now, with this setup, it should be pretty straightforward, if a little tube intensive here. If you look at the OET itself is built from the three different advanced pods. So you got the Ultimate, Advanced, and Excel. Those are all T2 bars, T2 materials that go into those. And we're going to need a whole lot of these, 1,053 in total. So we're going to need 1,053 of each one of these just to build the OET. Then we want 4 orbital strike controllers. And these themselves are 128. So that's another 512 on top of the 1,053. So it is 1,565 thereabouts, give or take a couple. So we're just gonna want to build a lot of these. And we have to use a manufacturing plant to do it. There is no generic auto crafter or other means by which to do it. So we're going to use a manufacturing plant, and we're going to have 3 inputs and 1 output. And the output I actually want as a 2,000 slot hopper, but I can't do it just yet. I'm going to need at least 1 component to be able to do that. So we're just going to go with the regular hopper until we get that filled up. Now, this thing also is going to need power. So we are going to want to figure out how we're going to deal with power. And I might slap a battery on there and then beam it in right from here, because this setup here won't be used as much. It just has nickel on it, whereas this one has gold and titanium. So we're going to be processing on 2 here. So it's going to be using just a little bit more power. So getting the power off of here, I think, is a good idea. And it only needs 1 of those components. So we're just going to use logistics hoppers in order to save on raw materials. And then we're going to have this as add only. And let's put the battery there so it gets charged. Now this thing can charge batteries, and you can see the power bouncing back and forth because the battery is trying to charge this and this tries to charge the battery. So unless you have a really good input of power, you're going to want to watch that. So let's get these things in where we want them. I think a good idea would be to bring nickel. Ooh, the floaty jetpackness. Let's turn that off. So we're going to bring nickel right up through here. And where do we want to dump it? I'm thinking this one right here somehow. So we're going to put this there. We want this to come out 1 more. And we're going to go to the side with it. Because we want this to come out and then down. That way, nickel will get fed right into there. Now, the gold is actually right here, the gold base stuff. So this will be a matter of bringing it down and over like that. That pretty easy on that front. So let's go ahead and feed those so they can at least get populated with materials. All right, now for titanium. And this one's going to be a little bit trickier because it's way over here. So if I pull it out this side here, and then let's see, I can basically come straight over with it. It's like that, and then I can go right down, and then I can feed it this side. Okay, that is the ingredients. Let's let everything get populated up here. All these things are ready. Not sure how fast this is going to be. I'm not really counting on this or really planning on this to be super fast because I've got a lot of construction that I need to do before I'm able to really use this to the full effect here. So we're going to automate. And we need power. Of course, we need power. So let's beam some power in. Once we get the first one, the first one is 95, 100%. Good. We're going to break it. We're going to put a 2000 slot hopper in its place. And we are going to set that filter. If I can find the icon. There, it's way up in the top. Okay, so Shift X and dump the one I have in there so I don't carry that around. There we go. We have OET components being auto-crafted for us, which is nice because this whole system now is completely automated. And the only real drawback is the speed at which I can process materials, which is fine because I mean this system will run while we're away doing other things. But once those components are done, we're going to want a bunch of places to actually charge that thing. You know, I could charge it over here and not bat an eye about it, because we're going to need so many turbines. How much plastic do I have? Only 336. That is roughly 336. It's 36 plastic per... Is it 36 or is it 54? Okay, where is... There it is. So that doesn't use plastic. Okay, so that is roughly 10. No, it's like 9 turbines. We're going to need way more than that. So let's set up a plastic producer here. We need a dedicated amount of plastic for turbines because we're going to build... We're probably going to have, let's see, 4, 8, 16, probably 32 turbines just on the OET. And then we're going to have another 54 or so on our resin farm, which I actually have being excavated right now. If we come over here and this all loads... Eventually. Come on. I know you're down there. There it is. You can see the space that I have marked off here. This is all getting excavated out. All this stuff in here. So the hive is centered about right there. So I centered the excavator right under the hive to dig that out. And once it's dug out, I will surround the walls with this reinforced rock and figure out how we're going to build the system inside that space. If I need a little space here or there, I can always excavate it out, but I'm hoping I won't. So, where was I? Okay, we need massive amounts of plastic, And to do that, we are going to use the refinery. And I want another 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Okay, let's, oh, jetpack's on, good. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and now let's copy that, paste that, and that should be already set at plastic. I'm going to want a 2000 slot hopper set to add only, and we're going to set that right away to plastic. And then we're going to want a hopper for biomass, and this uses more biomass than regular fuel does. This uses 4 biomass per plastic, so it's a much heavier user of biomass. So we could probably process all the rest that's in there right through here, and I want to tube it over. I want it to be fast. Because we're going to probably have to go under most of this in here. Okay, come on. There we go. Yeah. Under this. And let's figure out where we are in relation to the world. Right here. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's fill this in just so I don't lose my mind, and fill that in. And that should be good. Right there. Okay, let's come back down right here, and is there a way out? No, because that's not the spot. Super build that. Now I can go down with it, and this is already set up, so we can just cover that up so no slimes get down there. And we need power in here. Now this thing might be tapped out. This one here. Actually, it's not at all. Okay. How do our lines look? Right. Sort of good. Not really. So we're gonna supercharge that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This will spit out plastic pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because this thing is going to use a lot of power. And now this thing has to rev up in order for it to actually deliver that power. We need this thing to be just spinning like crazy. Come on now. Okay, now let's start feeding it biomass. First, I'm going to take all the rest that's in there. Should appear over here. And that's split the wrong way, so let's fix that. All right. We are going crazy fast here with plastic. We are going to clean this thing out in... Whoa! We're going to clean this this hopper out in no time. I wonder if I have any other biomass on me. If that was the last of it. So that's why there's this hopper here that's kind of awkward, because I had a bunch of biomass on me that I didn't need, and I kind of just plopped that there and put it in and walked away, hoping that it would get used, but I don't think much has. We used more for this little setup than anything. All right, so we are now making plastic. It's weird that there's only 3 in there. I thought this was really going crazy with it. Oh, I guess it's going okay fast. Now, should we do the OET over here? I think it's kind of awkward to do over here because we have this huge tin vein that I'm really debating whether or not I want to keep around, because that thing is just ugly right there. Or we could do it over on this side, which is a little bit closer to everything else, and it would kind of be nice to have it in an area that's nice and clear with a whole huge copper. Look at this copper vein that was right here. Wow. 12 million copper. And I wonder, that was probably 2 or 3 times that before I took it down. All right. So in here, I think is a pretty good spot. We've got a space that we could take off of. Now let's figure this out. Let's lay this out in an intelligent way here. So if I branch this off of here, now how I'm going to do this, so I'm going to have the fuel going in around the outside. So let's pick a spot and just cut this off, right, like that. Something arbitrary, not really measured out. Okay, so if I'm going to have a set of turbines in here, so let's center line this first, and then we can figure out where everything goes from there. So we're going to center line it right here. And that OET was, what was that? No, that was in here. It's 9 by 9 by 13. Okay. So 9 by 9 means that we're going to need 4 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one end. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the other end. So there's 4, 1, and then 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now my turbines, I want be facing the jet wash is going to be facing towards the OET. So we're going to want a setup here that spaces this out. So we're going to need to space this out to going out like that. Okay, so if this is the center, then I'm going to have a turbine set up here and one here. So there's going to be a turbine there and a turbine there. And those are going to need to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We might need to go, that might be perfect right there. Yeah, that would work. Because we want a space behind, and so the intakes will be on the outsides, and so I don't have to worry about when I walk by it. If I walk by it, I'm not going to get hit with jet wash everywhere. So that will work. I'll just need a turntable here, conveyor there, hopper there, and a hopper on top of here with a conveyor going down, and this will be our kind of our junk there. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the end of the OET. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the line. So this is actually going to be our final line here. And I can do the counting and all that kind of stuff for the other two sides, so we can get it good and ready. So that is the general layout of the OET. You'll come back next episode and we'll probably be finalizing this setup a little bit more. So that'll do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.